Well, good morning. We have a big crowd today. They're excited about all of this stuff going on. Kind of looks like everyone's excited except for the city manager. Where's he at?
He's busy.
Way to cover for him. Well, good morning. There's several topics that we're going to share with you this morning, from community events to some security issues at Old Town. We have some folks here that's going to share with us. I want to talk about a cycling event. Our Park and Rec Department, along with Genesis, is going to be hosting a spring cycle event at Lawrence Dumont Stadium this Saturday. So you can come out and jump on a cycle and ride with the mayor, actually. I think I'm going to jump on there. And there's 2 free classes available, one starting at 9:30, one starting at 11. Should be a fun Saturday at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. We want to bring up some special guests right now because we are going to share some news about Cooper Day. So if Cooper and his father's here, James, you want to come up too? James with Merit Trust is here. Our friends at the American Diabetes Association, Merit Trust Credit Union, Spirit Aerosystems are partnering to host the 25th Wichita Tour de Cure, Saturday, April 30th. Again, that is a bicycle event that will have some other things along with that. I have signed up to ride 25K in that event, so it's going to be exciting about raising more money and awareness for those that struggle with diabetes. And obviously Cooper this year is the person that's heading up all of the events and bringing more notice to those that have to fight with the challenge of living with diabetes. And Cooper is one of those that have been living with diabetes since he was at a very early age. So we want to honor both Cooper and raise more awareness. So I'm going to turn this over to folks that are much better at talking about both diabetes and sharing Cooper's story with all of you than these folks right here. So James, you want to share a little bit?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, we certainly appreciate, as Merit Trust, being involved in such a great cause. It's been a great pleasure getting to know Cooper and his family, his dad, Rick, his mother, Taryn. You know, Cooper was diagnosed at a very early age. I think the first one to be diagnosed at such a young age, at 8 months old. And so, but he's a great kid, very normal kid, does a lot of great things. We were having a discussion earlier about DC versus Marvel superheroes, and he can go both ways, but that's good. But we're very, very proud to be involved in this. It's a very, very important cause. You know, there's over 270,000 Kansans that are affected by this, certainly at Merit Trust, and I'm sure within the city of Wichita there's thousands of people, family, friends, loved ones that are affected by diabetes. And so anything that we can do to raise awareness, to raise money, to help solve this disease is very, very important to us. You know, our mission is to improve the lives of our members and the communities we serve, and so we're glad to partner with Spirit on this important cause. And we hope as many people can come down on April 30th for the Tour de Cure. It'll be at Spirit Aerosystems. We have over 400 riders at this point, and over 500 riders at this point, excuse me, and we've raised over $400,000 for this great cause. But we could always use more riders and money because the money is well spent and used on research and a lot of great things, on camps for kids like Cooper to go and spend their time and feel like a normal kid doing normal things. And so certainly we appreciate the support of the city in this effort. And I don't know if, Rick, you want to say anything? Or
I think you did a pretty darn good job.
Cooper, thank you.
You want to say anything?
Your chance.
you can say, will you ride with me? You want to say,
There you go. How about that?
I'm going to pick you up.
Ask him to ride with you.
Just say, will you ride with me?
Will you ride with me?
That's awesome. Thank you, Cooper. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. James, thank you. Just to put it into perspective a little bit, and I serve on that board of the American Diabetes Association, so you'll have a little bit of perspective. Before Cooper and before James and Merit Trust and before Larry Lawson at Spirit stepped up to help us bring more awareness to this cause, and it was just a few years ago that they stepped up. We truly were blessed and lucky if we could raise $125,000 a year. But since Cooper and Merit Trust and Spirit have stepped up, as you heard today, we are over the $400,000 mark, and that's not even the goal. And so they have really increased the opportunity to help us serve this community in a way that hopefully someday we'll find a cure for that horrible disease. We have an alcohol-free event. The Mayor's Youth Council is going to be the host for an event for the teens to promote Alcohol Awareness Month and demonstrate the fun activities that do not have to have alcohol or drugs at them. The alcohol-free jamboree will be held from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, April the 15th, at Linwood Recreation Center. The event is open to youth grades 8 through 12 and will include free games, movies, athletic events, and other activities at the Recreation Center and on the south side of Linwood Park. Food will be provided to the first 100 youth, so I guess you better come early if you're hungry. The first 100 youth in attendance, and the Jamboree is sponsored by Mirror Incorporated, the City of Wichita's City Manager's Office, and the Park and Rec Department. So a terrific event hosted by the Mayor's Youth Council, another great group of folks that are promoting good things in our community. Old Town Safety Report. We have, do we have someone here to share with the Old Town Safety Report this morning? I will share some information. I didn't know if one of the chiefs made it down. I guess they're busy too, aren't they? As promised, we said a few weeks ago, we're releasing a report that captures an ongoing effort to ensure Old Town safety. And Old Town is a safe place to live, work, and play. Old Town is a safe entertainment district. The data collected reinforces that position, but we want to continue working with our partners to sustain and improve public safety. Research was conducted and information was gathered on other communities and how they manage the challenges in late night entertainment areas as well as challenges specific to our community. The committee brainstormed solutions and selected the opportunities which will have the most impact. This focused, diligent approach resulted in the critical few recommendations put forth in the report that we are releasing today. Highlights include allowing the hiring of off-duty law enforcement officers. We have not previously allowed that to happen. Partnering with the Wichita Fire Department to increase public safety presence, instituting enhanced traffic control measures, streamlining citation and enforcement processes, and implementing additional licensing requirements. So we'll continue to focus on safety throughout the city, and our efforts on Old Town will continue to evolve as the needs of Old Town evolve. Again, want to recognize our Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport. It received a top 5 national ranking on customer satisfaction. So it's not just a great place to visually enjoy traveling, but they do a great job with making the whole experience satisfying for those that are traveling. Eisenhower Airport ranked 4th nationally among small hub airports, according to Phoenix Marketing International, which surveyed 170,000 travelers between November of 2015 and February of 2016. Customer satisfaction levels were based on a 7-point scale, with 7 being very satisfied. According to the survey, Eisenhower and overall customer satisfaction rating was at 89% in several of the categories. Should also note that Eisenhower Airport has seen some recent service improvements that we're excited about. As we reported just the other day, Southwest is now flying to St. Louis, which has expanded their routes to a number of other cities. So St. Louis and Phoenix, which provide some great connections to other cities. These are 2 new daily nonstop destinations. Along with Las Vegas, it certainly gives travelers some great connections. Air quality, there's a couple of things we want to cover today, and because I'm not as good at this as Bailey is. Bailey's going to save me and come up and talk a little bit about air quality, and then we may want to mention that there is another alert in terms of potential smoke in our area again today. So Bailey, why don't you save me and come up and share about air quality again? Thank you, Bailey.
Okay, the first 2 weeks of ozone season has seen ozone levels below the standard of 70 parts per billion, with one exception. Unexpectedly, east winds blew smoke from range burning in the Flint Hills east of Wichita, causing a spike in ozone and an exceedance day to occur on April 4th. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment will be reviewing the data from that day to determine if this qualifies as an exceptional event, which means it could be excluded from the data used to determine our air quality status at the end of ozone season. This shouldn't count against us, and it hasn't in the past. The city does not control wildfires or even controlled burns in the Flint Hills, and it is our position that our residents should not be penalized for it. This exception is also because the city participated in the development of the state smoke management plan, which is intended to help prevent this type of events from occurring. As the mayor mentioned yesterday, KDHE issued an air quality advisory through today. The conditions today are good for agricultural burning, so we expect burning to occur. There is a potential due to that burning for us to see elevated smoke levels in the Wichita area, which could impact air quality. We are monitoring air quality at this time, as well as fire activities and wind conditions. If an exceedance day should occur due to any of the fire activities today, we will request an exceptional event, much like what happened on April 4th. So I think that's all we have as far as an update.
Thank you, Bailey.
It's Bailey Cunningham, Baylee, Cunningham, Cunningham. Air Quality Specialist.
What was that figure on the parts per billion again, 70 or 60?
The maximum allowable measurement is 70 parts per billion.
And where were we on April 4th?
We had two readings, one 78 parts per billion, which we believe was accurate. We had a power outage on another monitor, and when it came back on, we were reading 103 parts per billion, but we believe that was due to some technical errors. So 78 parts per billion for the 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all. Cooper, was there anything else we needed to cover? Cooper might need to come up in case there's any questions on American Diabetes Association. Is Cooper going to ride with me?
Cooper's doing the 5 mile. We're doing the 5 mile.
So Cooper's doing the 5-mile ride? James, you're riding 25 with me, aren't you?
His 7-year-old brother will actually do the ride.
Are you doing the ride? Are you doing the ride or the walk?
My brother did the whole ride. with
Really?
training wheels.
With training wheels. So I should be able to do it with training wheels. All right. Well, is there any questions today?
On the Old Town safety, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Some of the changes, as I mentioned, that we're making that we think will help provide a little bit better environment for everyone down there is now allowing the hiring of off-duty officers. We did not allow that to happen over the last several years. Do you have any dollar amounts, Denise?
Yeah, that's actually, excuse me, thank you. That's actually in progress. The report that came out was recommendations, and now we're going into the implementation phase, which includes budgeting, timing, et cetera.
Any idea when it will be actually implemented?
Actually, we have 14 projects as a result of the recommendations report that are being implemented now, and they have varying implementation dates.
And what are those 14 projects?
Okay. You didn't test me? They're all of the recommendations in the report. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Denise Peters, and I'm a project manager in the city manager's office, and I was the primary facilitator on the effort to generate the report. Summer is typically a peak season for nightlife in Old Town. We have a date of end of May, around June, to get everything done. That's our target date.
And I know originally when the chief was here, I believe last month, the list was 21 recommendations, if that's correct. So what
Correct.
happened to the remaining 7? Are those still looking to be implemented? Is that kind of, those put on hold?
Yeah, no, actually, some have been, they've been compressed into projects. So, you know, when you have like recommendations, we create a project and have several recommendations within a project.
And I know that obviously money was a big question because, you know, again, with summer coming up, everything like that, what part does that play in terms of the city's budget, in terms of the Old Town Association kind of chipping in? Do we know some of those figures?
Basically, in the report, there were a couple of things that needed some more investigation. I know with additional lights and cameras, obviously those will have a budget impact, and so we're working on that estimate.
So that we won't see that in the immediate future, those additions, is that?
No, that's part of the recommendation,
It-
that's my understanding.
Yeah.
We're moving forward despite.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is moving forward. In terms of funding, there were some options that are listed in the report that we need to do some further research on.
So, and I'm sorry, I wasn't here for that one, but so there's going to be additional lighting and security cameras?
Yes.
In Old Town, and you're still looking at the costs on that?
Right.
Okay.
It's still debated as to who will pick up, will the city pick up the cost of that, or the Old Town businesses pick up a portion of that?
I think that's part of the discussion we're gonna have.
Yeah.
Discussions
The,
are coming. They haven't-
Right.
the additional lighting is actually a joint venture between the Old Town Association and the city of Wichita. We purchase the lights, they'll pay for installation in a partnership.
Is there particular areas that you're talking about here in Old Town that you're going to add these lights and cameras?
At this point, it's a bit premature for me to comment on that.
I think we're gonna try and add the lights in areas that are dark. I'm s-
What about extending on to like Douglas, like I know like Barleycorn, other bars in that area that maybe not, I don't know if they're technically Old Town.
Yeah, we're looking at the entire district, the entire entertainment district.
So what's the next step? Just goes before the city council?
There are varying things. Some things are just operational that we need to move forward and implement. Other things will need to go before city council, like some ordinance changes, things like that. And then other things, you know, have budget impact and need more discussion.
Not
But-
to be redundant, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But not everything that has a monetary figure to it has to come before council, because we still allow the management staff with certain limits to appropriate funds.
Right?
And I know there was some question about the 2 clubs that kind of sparked a lot of this discussion in terms of their financial contributions. Is there any maybe more responsibility, monetarily speaking, from those 2 clubs?
Right, as outlined in the report, those are things that we are looking at in terms of additional funding, not specifically related to those clubs, but the district at large.
And on the licensing, when it says additional licensing requirements, can you talk a little bit more about what that means specifically to these clubs?
Sure, and you know, typically clubs, in order to increase safety, they will do many things voluntarily. I think one of the big hitters or have a big impact is the concept of an ID scanner, so that when patrons come in and they scan their IDs, and if there is an issue or a problem, that can go into a database, and then that database can communicate throughout the entertainment district. So if you have a problem patron moving from club to club, that can really discourage inappropriate behavior.
Thank you.
Is there anyone from Old Town here today?
I don't believe so.
Thank you.
Thank you all.